We exclusively brought you news of Volkswagen bringing a host of SUVs to India, right from the T-Roc to the Tiguan. And we even told you about the one we finally got our hands on, the one that has been launched now, the one which we told you would replace the 5-seater Tiguan. We are all familiar with the Tiguan nameplate. This one, however, is different, and that is because it gets AllSpace added to that name. This one is a 7-seater and it is bigger than the Tiguan 5-seater. To be precise, it's longer by 335 millimeters, it's taller than 2 millimeters, and the space between the wheels is 110 millimeters more than the 5-seater version. Now, as far as looks are concerned, it isn't flamboyant, but that's what you don't expect out of VW. So you have all LED headlamps. There is a nice LED DRL signature that you get on the AllSpace as well. And this clamshell bonnet also doesn't add much to the drama, but well, it looks, subtle and good as well at the same time. There is, however, a dash of chrome all through the car. You see it on the grille, you see it right here, the small line right under there, and you see it splashed across the side and the rear too. And that just shows that this one is a more premium offering. The roof rails too add to the lifestyle element of the car. Given the fact that it comes to India as a completely built unit, the Tiguan AllSpace gets all the bells and whistles. Now the Tiguan AllSpace is available in just one variant. That means it's packed to the gills with features. So you get stuff like a digital instrument cluster with active information display, which basically tells you all you want to know about the car. There is also a touchscreen infotainment system with 8 speakers all around the car. So yes, acoustically it's fun as well. You also get 3-zone climate control, a panoramic sunroof, which is now a big deal for most vehicle owners, and of course you get this soft touch dashboard. Then there are these leather wrapped seats which are really good as far as lumbar support and under thigh support is concerned, and all of that really gives you a good sense of space inside here. It does have, or it does miss out on some features like wireless charging. I think that is one feature that could have been part of this entire gamut, but the space here is pretty good, but there are 2 more rows to go, right? So let's go and check out how the space there is like. There's good enough space at the rear, especially in terms of leg, head and shoulder room. But the rear passenger gets some convenience features too. So you get a center armrest back here with 2 cup holders. There's also this foldable tray that you get. Again, it gets a cup holder. Now this you can use to basically use as a workstation. So you can keep your laptop here and you can of course start working. That of course is a good thing, but you need to fold it all down and check out the space that you have at the rear. So there's good enough knee room right here and good headroom as well. These of course are 60-40 split seats. But what is interesting is that you can slide this forward and back. So if you don't want this much space, basically, you just slide it and create some space for the people sitting in the 3rd row. An attempt to get into the 3rd row took every ounce of my skill. And well, I fit in. Well, almost. Clearly, there are constraints of the 3rd row. And I had to fold myself to get into this position, and I have no knee room, no headroom, I have no under thigh support as well. So this is really cramped for me. So definitely this space is for kids or anyone below say 5'4", but definitely not a place for adults. Trying to get out of the 3rd row proved to be even more challenging. But with all the seats of the 3 rows up, the Tiguan AllSpace still provides 340 liters of boot space. And that's impressive. There's even enough room for the spare tire. With the 3rd row down, there's 1065 liters on offer. And with the 2nd and 3rd row down, it's a cavernous 1274 liters. You could probably fit more than half of India's cricket team in there. If you do manage to kidnap half of the Indian cricket team, you would need this one to go fast. The petrol-only model does not disappoint. The Tiguan AllSpace is only available with a petrol engine. So a 2-liter TSI, 188 brake horsepower, 320 Newton meters of torque on offer, and it's absolutely delightful to drive really. The petrol only option really works because it's refined and it's extremely smooth, especially that 7-speed DSG gearbox. It just works like a charm. Shifts are seamless, and even if you floor the throttle, there's quick engagement as far as the gearbox is concerned, and we always knew that about the DSG, right? What is interesting is you get paddle shifters in this one. So if you think that the DSG cannot keep up, well, you can always use the paddle shifters. And this one also gets driving mode. So there's eco, there's normal, there's sport, and there's individual. So if you turn on the sport mode, there's a lot of noise that comes out of that exhaust. And yes, you want more of that. Of course, the gear shifter reacts as well to your throttle inputs, and it's quicker, faster. There you go. Yeah, this actually does not feel like an SUV. It feels more like a hot hatch, and that takes you by surprise, doesn't it? The all-wheel drive system, which we've already seen on the Tiguan, also makes it to the AllSpace. And it makes sure that you are quick off the mark, and that adds to the experience. For those worried about the ride quality in this one, well, this really actually ticks all the boxes because it takes everything on the road in its stride. It's really well creased out when it comes to handling potholes on the road, undulations on the road. It doesn't have that upward and downward movement every time you go on a broken road or one with undulations. So it actually takes it in its stride, and that's what you enjoy about this. There is an off-road mode in this one which you can engage. There is also snow mode. There is gravel as well. So all those modes can be engaged, and yes, it does its computer trickery to basically get you and the car through anything that the terrain has to throw at it. It is interesting how well this rides and handles. The steering is precise, and well, I can actually go ahead and say that the ride quality is actually better than the Skoda Kodiaq, which is its closest rival. It has a lot going its way then. It's got the features, the engine's powerful enough, and you feel like you're driving a hot hatch when you're behind the wheel. But it is pricey. At 33,12,000 rupees, the AllSpace is 1,50,000 rupees more expensive than the 5-seater Tiguan. It is more than 3 lakh rupees cheaper than the Kodiaq L&K variant. But that's a diesel. The AllSpace is in fact 13,000 rupees cheaper than the Endeavour 4x4, but costs 3 lakh rupees more than the Alturas G4. The introductory price is competitive considering it comes as a completely built unit to India, and also because all its rivals have just the diesel offering. There's a fair bit of interest in the car already, as Volkswagen has received more than 200 bookings for the SUV. So while it may not become a top seller for the company, it will strengthen its SUV portfolio. The AllSpace ticks all the boxes then, and it is a car you'll enjoy driving every time you get into it.